Okay. Welcome folks, good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the Peach Guitars Saloon. Hopefully you can hear me on Instagram, I'm sure you can hear me on YouTube. Right, we're in a different setting to usual. As you can tell, there's an unboxing about to take place, but we brought it out here because one of the very first, I think, and certainly the most popular unboxing that we ever did was for custom shop Martin acoustic guitars, and we just happened to have received the second shipment of that same kind of a deal. John isn't around, unfortunately, to do the job that he did last time, but it's down to me to pull a few of these guitars out of the boxes. The usual drill, you know what to expect by this point, but this is going to be a good one. We've come back to the place it all began. Let's dig in. What I've actually got here this time around are a couple of guitars that are actually the same model, but of course, because of the exotic timbers that are used, they're duplicates, but they're going to be totally different in terms of the different flames and the different kind of appearances, and probably some of the different tones as well that the different woods on each guitar are going to give. So you're going to see certain models that repeat, but they're all entirely different, one of one kind of, at least tonally and aesthetically. So let's delve in to guitar number one. And so that this isn't too kind of tedious in terms of me scratching my head and wondering what guitar's what, I've got a few little cheat sheets. So we're going to get through some specs as well, but the main point of these unboxings, I think, is just to show you how beautiful these guitars are. You are, of course, going to get to hear them as well on the listings that we do. So I've got a few obstacles to get out of the way, these plastic bags and whatnot, but here we go. Right, oh yes, thank you, mystery assistant. Let's get on with guitar number one. All right, I think what I'll do, I'll show it to you first, and then we'll delve into a few of the specs. Okay, so I'm not sure what this is so far, but it's very, very pretty. Let's have a look at that. All right, so really nice OM from the front. Let me flip this around though. Three-piece back. So this is a mahogany back and sides with obviously a central flame maple stripe. And it's pretty much in tune. Yeah, okay, so obviously you're going to hear these guitars properly put through the paces when we get down with some microphones and do the normal listings, but just straight away, it's always nice when a guitar comes out of the box in tune. You can kind of tell usually that that means it's going to be a good one. Not sure what the science is behind that, but it seems to work. So let me stick that back in the case and we'll just delve into some of the specs on that one. I think I kind of covered the majority of it, but cheat sheets here. So OM model, which has got the standard extended scale length, 25.4 inches, with a slightly wider fingerboard width, or the nut width of 1 3/4 inches. What else have we got? Yeah, mahogany back and sides, three-piece back with a Pacific big leaf flamed maple wedge. So not just a maple stripe there. Sitka spruce premium top with the scalloped bracing on the top as well. So what I really like about the custom shop stuff is that Martin just kind of have the formula down where they don't necessarily deviate too far from the classic models. So if you're into the kind of vintage specs, a lot of that is still intact, but they just show off what they can do with some of their more exotic timbers. That's kind of the style of the custom shop. And I just want to point out as well, in fact I'll get it out of the case, that these guitars are dealer exclusive. So these are Peach Guitars editions, but what John decided to do, rather than kind of branding dealer select guitars as they typically are, which is to have some kind of usually fairly hideous moniker on the guitar somewhere, or our logo or name or whatever it is, John thought it would be a good idea to actually just treat these guitars as whoever buys these, this is your guitar. So there's no Peach branding. All you get in the case is this really nice little leather pouch, which is Peach branded. Let me get a bit closer for the sake of Instagram and for YouTube there as well. And let's just have a quick look inside this one. I won't do this for every guitar, but let's see what we got. Little custom shop pouch there. And I think there's a little bit more info on the inside. So basically what I'm saying is that this guitar is going to be branded by those who purchase it, not by us as a shop, but you've got the knowledge that this is still a dealer exclusive, a very, very exclusive piece all round, and you've got a little bit of documentation to prove that in rather a finicky little wallet that I can't get back together. So, oh, there we go, okay. That's the one and only time I'm doing this because this is a little finicky, but we've done it. So that's what you get. That's what makes these guitars special. And I think what I'm also going to do this time round, that goes in there, okay, is I'm going to leave these guitars open so you get to ogle them throughout the course of the whole video. And if you haven't noticed already, Toby's just made his way to the stage. Welcome back, Toby. Okay. All right, pretty strong start there. I won't take this much time on every guitar because I just want to, thank you, make sure we're zipping through this in the interest of not exceeding your broadband limits or whatever. Right, guitar number 2. I think what I'm going to do is just get straight to the guitar and then I'm going to talk about it. I want to keep the element of surprise for you and for me. So let's see what we got this time. Let's get the obstacles out the way. No talking on this one, which means a lot of suspense, which means it should be a good one. Thank you. Let's see what we're going to get. Oh, I always miss one. There we go, I got it. Or have I missed another one? There we go, I missed another one. A lot of latches on these cases. Okay. So from the looks of things, we've got a triple O this time. And that actually, that's just kind of the best example of a triple O I've seen for a long, long while. This might be, I'm going to check the spec in a moment, I think this might be one of the Sinker mahogany guitars. But that's just a fairly traditional looking triple O through and through. Really nice grade of mahogany though for the back, nicely glossed, and then sort of a little less glossy on the sides. Just a really nice finish overall. Nothing too out there, nothing too fancy, but is it in tune? Certainly is. A little bit more kind of mid-range projection on that one. I mean, these are really preliminary sound tests, but first impressions are always a good thing. So let's find out exactly what this is. That was, can you tell me what the letter on the box there was, Luke? I forgot. H, okay. I've gone for very simplistic lettering systems here so I can remember the specs for you. So triple O, Adirondack spruce top with a 5/16 inch scallop top. Sinker mahogany back and sides, there we go. So the Sinker mahogany I have talked about in previous videos. It's basically, I think, 300-year-old mahogany wood that Martin have come across and salvaged for the purpose of guitar building, which is very noble on their part and also very good tonally because it's got a lot of kind of depth to the tone. We've featured the Sinker guitars before. They're very popular, so here's another one for you. Slightly shorter scale on this one, 24.9 inch with the same 1 3/4 inch nut width, so a little bit wider there. And it's got the aging toner on the top, so to match the sort of aged back and sides with the Sinker mahogany, you've got a little bit of an aged to the top as well, which is kind of commonplace on Martin's vintage lineup at the moment, but not always the case with Custom Shop. So there we go, really, really nice guitar, that one. I personally like the sort of more simplified, stripped back approach of guitars, but as you'll see from some of the other guitars that are going to come out throughout the course of this video, there are some subdued guitars, but there's also some bling. So I'm not sure what will happen upon next, but let me just, I'm adding to my presentation sequence on the stage. There we go. Probably should have gone front to back, but whatever. All right, guitar number 3. Different case on this one, so I'm thinking this is going to be a totally different beast altogether because the case looks like more of a kind of modern style case. but I honestly have no idea what it's going to be, so we'll find out together. All right, Dreadnought, I presume this one's going to be. Where have I missed? Oh yes. All right, so the big beastie is out. We've finally got a Dreadnought. Looks like some really nice East Indian rosewood on the back and sides. I'll get the spec up in just a moment for you. What does it say we got here? Custom D14. So I guess this is this looks a bit like a D28 to me, but there's probably a few little tweaks under the hood that I'll list in a moment. That's a good sounding Dreadnought. That reverberated the entire saloon. So if you're looking for a powerhouse acoustic, that could be the one. Let's get onto a little bit of the spec though. All right, F that one was. All right, yeah, so Dreadnought body size, Sitka spruce top, East Indian rosewood for the back and sides. Fairly standard form for a Dreadnought there, but done very, very well. It's got the forward shifted bracing as well, which has kind of been the turbocharger treatment that Martin have applied to their Reimagined series guitars. So it's kind of the best of all things. It's got the classic aesthetic, nothing too glamorous here going on, but it's just a really, really good looking and good sounding Martin Dreadnought. Once again with that dealer select treatment as well. So these guitars are a little bit more exclusive than a regular custom shop counterpart. All right. There we go, okay. This is turning out well so far, I'm liking this. Let's get rid of that. Thank you. All right, let's speed things along a little bit. So, usual practice here. I'm not going to give any hints away as to what this might be. I think the knack with these unboxings is that you guys like the element of surprise. So I'm going to build up as much suspense as I can for these guitars. And then we'll figure out what they are at the same time. Okay. I'm not keen on this little plastic tail that I keep end up dragging along with me, but that's gone. All right, so another one of those slightly larger molded cases. What have we got inside? Very nice. Okay, so another Dreadnought. I'm going to show you the back of this guitar in a moment, so prepare yourselves for that. But just aesthetically on the top, this has got a really nice mix of it's got the premium looking top that something like a D42 would have, but then it's a little more stripped back, classic and vintage, and sort of not so ostentatious on the fingerboard layout and stuff like that. It's just a really nice looking Dreadnought. Similar tonal powerhouse to the other one as well, but this one comes with this on the back. Oh mama. So once again, two-piece rosewood, centerpiece of that flame maple. I'm going to get the spec out in just a second. So maybe that last guitar was a little bit too subdued for you. You want something a little bit more flary. This also looks like, I'll check this, but I think this has got the new bridge pins that they put on the modern Deluxe, which has that sort of, it's some kind of technology they're using to enhance the sustain from the bridge pins themselves. Could be wrong about that, but I reckon that might be another little turbocharging feature that they've supplied to this guitar. So let me stick it back in the case and get out the spec. I think that was model C. So, where are we? Luckily I know my alphabet well, so I know where the C is coming. All right, forward shifted bracing, East Indian rosewood, three-piece back with the Pacific big leaf flame maple wedge once again. It's also got maple binding on this guitar, and a few of these have had that I didn't point out actually, but European flamed maple binding on the body and on the fingerboard. You're going to see a lot of this stuff, I think, in the high-res images that we'll shoot on the website, rather than me just sort of mentioning them off the cuff. If you really want to appreciate the details of these guitars, the website will be the place for that. Doesn't mention anything about those bridge pins, but again, check out the website for that information. Just a really nice, solid custom dreadnought there. All right, so let's stick this up here. All right, lovely. Okay, I think I'm making a dent in this, but there's a lot of guitars to get through. We're very lucky boys. Thank you. All right, let's move along here. So, as I said, some of these guitars you will see once or twice, maybe even 3 times, because we've got some that are the same model, but obviously different examples of each. So there's still going to be a nice heap of variety therein. And I think this could be one of the guitars that that applies to, where we might see a couple of this particular spec. So I get this out. Oh, please go away. Thank you. Okay. Right, yes, an H on this one. That means nothing to you, but it means everything to me in terms of being able to give you the right spec. So, what does H mean? Ooh! Alright. So, back with another triple O. With that, I'm hesitant to call this a banana top, but that's what came to mind immediately, like a golden banana split. Really, really nice aged toner on the top. Again, a really nice piece of mahogany, so this could be another one of those Sinker mahogany guitars that I showed you earlier. They're all in tune, John. Good sign. Yeah, another real stunner. I actually really like the top on that. It looks super crispy. So let's delve into the spec. I have a feeling that this might be one of the ones that I showed you before, so forgive me if you've heard this before. Not quite. Okay, so another triple O. This time it's got the 24.9 scale length, so more traditional. Also got faux tortoise binding on the body, so that gives it a little bit more pop to the top because the binding's darker. Sinker mahogany back and sides once again, so that's a really good combination. I think that's kind of, if you're more of a traditionalist and you just want something with the custom shop impeccable level of quality, then this is going to be something that probably floats your boat. I really love the headstock on that guitar as well. Let me just give you one last shot of that, because that's, hopefully you can see that there. I mean, it probably just looks deceptively plain and simple, but it's got a lot of depth to that. And I love that old script style logo that the headstock's got going on there. It's just plain and simple, this guitar, but done really, really well. All right. Now I know we've got a lot to get through today, but I'm very keen to make this an interactive thing. I want you to let me know in the comments so far what your favourite's been. But I think there's probably going to be a few more that come along that that persuade you otherwise as we go. Let's see where we go. Thanks, Luke. All right. What's this going to be? How are we doing on Instagram, by the way? Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't and I'll speak louder. Okay, good. That's my name. Don't shout it. Very good. Alright, so one of those other sort of deluxe hard shell Slightly larger cases on this guitar. We've got another dreadnought. So this, again, I think this is one that I showed you before. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this. I'll check the spec to make sure that I'm correct in that, but this is that same sort of D42 hybrid that I described with the other bridge pins potentially. So I really liked this one before. Another really nice piece of, I'm assuming it's rosewood. I'm going to check the spec once again. That nice herringbone stripe down the middle. Gorgeous. The necks on all these have been amazing. They're really nicely, they're kind of the low profile necks on a lot of these guitars, so they're not too chunky like a vintage might end up being. They've just got the right thing going on, and those really nice oversized dot marker inlays as well on 5, 7 and 9. All right, let me just affirm my suspicions that that's one we've seen before. Where's F? This feels very official with paperwork this time and an unboxing. Yeah, same thing. So wild grain, East Indian rosewood back and sides, Sitka spruce premium top with the scalloped bracing, which is forward shifted as well. Gorgeous. Gorgeous indeed. Yes. Okay. I can do that. Thank you, Luke. All right, so here we've got something I think you won't have seen before. It's getting a little, I mean, I've simplified this as best as I can with letters and I'm still getting confused. So if I'm talking endlessly about guitars that you've already seen, I apologize, but you know, I want to be thorough. I think this is going to be a fresh one though. So let's see what we got. And I promise I'll bring it closer to camera so you get a good shot this time. Okay. Missed one, as always. Where is it? There we go. All right, so this is kind of the counterpart to that triple O I was showing you. Let's get nice and close for this one. So, looks like it's the Sinker mahogany once again, but this time on a dreadnought with that gorgeous banana split top. Really love that. Let's see what it sounds like. Works for me. Love that headstock, which I talked about before. There'll be a close-up on the YouTube cam for that. I'm giving Luke a right headache here. Sorry, I'm in a triangle of cameras, but Sinker mahogany on the back. You can see how much depth there is to that. I don't know how much of that is just down to the wood itself, or you know, I guess it's a lot to do with the finishing as well. Whatever it is, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it sounds great. These Sinker guitars just have so much extra heft to them, which I like. I think everyone can appreciate that. So there we go. That was something new. They're slightly borrowed from that triple O I've already showed you. So hopefully that provides a good little, I think that's about a midway point. Not sure exactly how we're getting on, but what I can tell you is that my artistic skills are second to none up here. This looks superb from where I'm stood. Okay, thank you, sir. All right, what we got next? Okay. Right, everything from this point on, I believe, are all going to be unique guitars, the stuff that you haven't necessarily seen before, so this should be a good last stretch. Just want to make sure I've got what that one was. Okay, that's E. Every time, every time. Oh my word, okay. So when I said earlier that there was some slightly more subdued guitars and then there was some bling, this falls into the latter. My goodness me, that's a very attractive guitar. So OM, I'm going to check the spec on this before I run my mouth on specs that are probably wrong. I mean, I'm a big fan of OM 42s personally. This sits in that kind of camp a lot with a lot of the ornamentation that's going on the top, but it's just next level. It's like an OM 42 turned up to about 15. So, get a nice close-up for Instagram so you can check that out. I'm going to say that that's rosewood back and sides. I think that's fairly safe to assume, but could be wrong. It looks like it's got maybe koa binding on this guitar. And that amazing headstock as well, so hopefully you all can feast on the glory of this guitar. Really, really nice. Right, let's get the spec out and see what we got. All right, that was an E, so E, here we go. Yeah, this is the big one. There's a lot of spec to get through here. So, Italian Alpine Spruce premium grade on the top with scalloped bracing once again, wild grain East Indian rosewood. The body binding, as I mentioned, is highly flamed koa. To get koa in binding, that's, you know, you're at top level stuff here. Style 42 for the top inlay, and then you've got fingerboard binding as well, which is also highly flamed koa. The rosette is a style 45, so it's borrowing a lot of sort of ornamentation from the 42 and the 45 series guitars, but tying it all up in something that is very unusual. And it's also worth pointing out that this has got a gloss neck as well, which feels, actually, compared to a lot of gloss necks, you kind of don't notice it so much. You know, it doesn't hinder your playing as you're moving up and down the neck. At least that's what my impression was just there. Really lovely. Charlotte tuners as well, which is going to aid in the tuning stability, I'd imagine. A lot of spec there, so if you want to find out more about that particular guitar, then you can do so on the website. And I will just point out that even though it says it is a triple O, it does have the OM scale length and nut width and pick guard. So yeah, that's what you can expect. All right, that's strong contender for favourite so far. There we are. Thank you, Luke. Okay. Here we go. Oh no! There we go. Free of that. Okay. What are we? This is an I. That goes in there. Followed by that, thank you. Alright. Okay, so I think we're back to around where we started with the Dreadnought. So I'm going to check the spec once again, but this is one that we have seen before, so there's more than one of this guitar. So it'll be worth either going back in this video to check out the other one that we've already taken out, or of course just check the website if you want to see the proper in-depth images, and you'll be able to hear these individually as well at some point. It's another winner. Really gorgeous figured top on that one. I like referring to these as banana split tops, but that kind of does them a bit of a disservice. It's just got the really nice aged toner on this. Presumably Sitka spruce top. Sinker mahogany for the back and sides. Let's find out for sure though. Adirondack spruce, beg your pardon, for the top, which is a 5 16" scalloped top. Forward shifted bracing with the Sinker mahogany and the faux tortoise binding. So yeah, it's another one of those that we've seen before. Madagascar rosewood head plate as well, it's just worth pointing that out. I think I commented about how much I like those head plates. So that's what that is. the Madagascan rosewood. Hopefully everyone got a good look at that. Oh. All right. So I'm sure a lot of you will be wanting to update your selection for favourite that I asked you to do earlier. We are nearly at the end, so you'll get a chance to do that again. All right, so we're back up to the modern style case. So I'm thinking this might be another one of the, what is it, D? No, I don't think we've seen this before actually. Feels particularly lightweight, this one. Okay. Goodness me, right, so awful lot of aging toner on this top, which looks superb. This is almost the counterpart to that OM that I showed you a minute ago, but it's not quite as ornate. It's a little more stripped back if you like that kind of thing, though it has got the really nice, I think it's a 42 style rosette, maybe a 41. I wish Greg was here today because I'm not a Martin aficionado like that man is. But yeah, looks great to me. Really nice mahogany neck, and we've got another 3-piece back. Lordy mama. I'll let you get a good shot of that. There we go, and Instagram for you as well. Oh yeah, that's looking good. So this is again a little bit of a cool mashup of different reference points of Martin's history, and it all culminates in this really sort of ultra modern, really nicely put together package. It's got those same bridge pins, which I can only assume are taken from the Modern Deluxe series. Really nice binding on the neck and the body as well. So I'm going to find out exactly what this spec is. Okay, so this was D. Let's see what we got. I've totally de-alphabetized this list now, but Sitka spruce top with forward shifted bracing, East Indian rosewood back and sides, though it is a 3-piece with a flamed koa wedge this time. I don't think we've seen a 3-piece with a koa back so far, though I could be wrong on that. It's usually been the maple, but that's kind of the most famous go-to, I think, that people like with their 3-piece backs. Highly flamed koa for the body and the fingerboard binding, and I was wrong on both counts. It's a style 45 rosette, so it's even more upmarket than I gave it credit for. Lovely, lovely spec on that one. I like that one very, very much. I'm sure I won't be alone. So I think you'll see what I mean so far about there's kind of something for everyone here. If you like something that's a little bit more classic in nature, or if you want something that's a little bit more ornate, there's everything. And once again, they all come, if you missed me earlier on talking about this, they're all dealer select guitars, so they're all peach guitars, but rather than adorning them with some sort of peach crest or signature, these guitars are designed to be your own. So you do get a certificate and a little nice leather pouch that comes in the case that's peach branded, but the guitar is unadorned, which I really like that. I like that touch. All right. Oh no. Okay. Very, very nice. All right, so a little bit of a similar take to that Dreadnought a few guitars ago, where it's kind of got less of the aging toner, so it looks a little bit more modern, this guitar, which I do like. I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people as well. Get a nice close up there. And we've got a three-piece back once again, this time with the flamed maple wedge or whatever it was called, something like that. Rosewood back and sides. Mahogany neck, I'm presuming. It looks like it's got a really lovely maple binding on this guitar. Let's hear it briefly. Check that out, Instagram. We'll get some back and side action there as well. And I'll also just point out how nice the pick guards are on these guitars as well. They don't get enough credit when it comes to the ornamentation discussion on these guitars. The pick guards are always absolutely top notch on these Martins as well. Okay. Let's just double check what we're dealing with. So this was, right back to the start. Sitka Spruce VTS Premium Top, East Indian Rosewood three-piece back with the Pacific Big Leaf Flamed Maple Wedge. At some point I'll remember that. Sounds a bit like a burger. European Flamed Maple body binding and fingerboard binding, 25.4 inch standard OM scale length. Really, really nice. So yeah, we have seen a similar, there's a Dreadnought around here somewhere that I think was a kind of similar aesthetic. So if Dreadnoughts are your thing, but you like what this guitar's got going on, or vice versa, there's one for each of you. Okay. Thank you, Luke. All right, two more. What are they going to be? I have a feeling these might be some models that I've taken out other examples of. So once again, you might be really lucky and your favourite, there's actually more than one available and you get to choose which exact guitar you'd like. So let's find out what this one is. Go away. Okay. Really, really nice Dreadnought. So again, same sort of complexity to the top that that last OM had, which I think it was Sitka. I'm going to double check the spec in just a moment. Oh wow, okay, I'm going to show you the back of this guitar in just a moment, but yeah, this is just a really nice solid Dreadnought. Let's hear it. That's extremely loud. Okay, there's a nice shot of that for you, Instagram. I don't know how well this is going to translate through the phone, but hopefully through YouTube it will. That back is amazing. Hopefully you got that there, Luke. I'm not even sure what that is. I'm pretty sure maybe it's rosewood, but let's find out in just a second. That is a stunner. You got that? Really, really nice. Really sort of dark tone to this whole guitar. Even sonically as well, it's quite dark sounding. Anyway, enough of that. Let's find out what it is. Sitka Spruce Premium Wood top, scalloped forward shifted top bracing with East Indian Rosewood back and sides. That's one of the best examples of Indian Rosewood I've ever seen on an acoustic guitar on that back. Unfortunately, that's not the bit you get to see when you're playing it, but it's good to know that it's there. That is a stunning piece of rosewood. Okay, we're nearly there, folks. Thanks for staying the course. I'm hoping this last one is going to be a good one. So let's see what we've got. This is probably the most walking you've ever seen in an unboxing video as well. But there's a lot to cover here. What's it going to be? Oops. Okay, this is a good way to end. So this is the nice crispy banana split top again that I was talking about earlier on a triple O. I think this is maybe an OM. Most probably a triple O. Oh, that sounds very good. Same deal as we saw before, Sinker mahogany on the back and sides on this guitar. That's a nice piece of mahogany there. With the faux tortoise body binding, we get a bit closer for you guys. There we go. Black bridge pins as well, which is pretty stealthy. I'd only just noticed that on this guitar. So I went through the spec of this particular one earlier on, you'll be able to reference that. But what an impressive selection of guitars here today. This has been very, very good. I'd just like to say as well, because I think some people commented this before about these unboxing videos, that it maybe removes some of the joy for whoever ends up buying these guitars. I have to say that opening every one of these cases sparked the same level of suspense and surprise for me. Even the guitars that I'd already seen, you know, other versions of. So there's just something about taking guitars out of boxes. It doesn't matter how many times you do it, it's always pretty exciting. So I hope that that passes along to whoever picks these guitars up for themselves. Let me just put that down. So let me know in the comments if you think this lives up to the first unboxing that John did a couple of years ago. I mean, this is kind of a slightly different type of instrument that John's tended to buy here. They've not been quite so ornate as that first unboxing, but just as instruments in themselves, I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into playing these guitars for the listings so that you can hear them. I'm sure whichever one you pick up for yourself, if you're inclined to do so, you're going to be very pleased, because this has been a very good selection. So that's it for today. Let me know in the comments which of these guitars is your personal favorite, and if you want to find out any more information about any of them, you can do so by heading to peachguitars.com. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Take care, and I'll see you soon.